So this is video 1 for naming and drawing 3D shapes. So if you don't know how to draw 3D shapes, that's what we're gonna look at today. All right, next slide. All right, 3D shapes. So some examples of 3D shapes. Before I get into the examples, it might be a good idea to look at 2D shapes and to know the difference between 2D and 3D. Right? 2D shapes are flat shapes, like a triangle. There's a triangle. Circle. They're flat. They don't necessarily have a height. All right. A rectangle. A square. I'm going to put these little tally marks to signify that that's supposed to be a square. Squares have 90-degree angles, 4 of them, and the same side length. These little tally marks show that it is the same length, even though I didn't draw it to scale. It's not a perfect little square, but those little tally marks prove that. Okay, so those are some examples of 2D shapes. Now, in order to make a 2D shape a 3D shape, you have to give it a height. All right, for example, if I have this triangle, it's flat right now. Think of it being flat on the floor. But once you give it height, you're giving it space in the inside, which is volume. Okay, so now it becomes a 3D figure. All right, and we're going to look at that shape today. Another example would be something like this. I have a circle, right? It's flat on the table or floor, however you want to look at it. Right? It looks like it's an oval right now because if you have a circle and you put it on the table, if you walk away, it kind of looks like it's oval in shape by the way that you're looking at it. So it makes sense why it looks like this, right? And soon, if not in this video, in the next video, you'll see actual examples of that. All right, so here's a circle. Once I give it height, I'm giving it space in the inside, creating a 3D shape. All right, so all the space that's in the inside of this 3D shape is volume. Okay, but we're not going to talk about volume today. We're going to learn how to name and draw 3D shapes. All right, next slide. All right, so this slide looks just like what I was explaining on the last slide. This right here represents 2D shapes, a triangle, a circle, a rectangle. While on this side represents 3D shapes. All right, so just like what it says up here, 2D has area. All right, 3D has volume. All right, so 2D is flat. That's talking about area. So when it's in its 3D form, or when it's 3D, it has volume. Since you add the height to it. All right, next slide. All right, so 3D shapes. Most are named from their base shape. So in its upright position, if this shape is on its side, which we'll see later, but when it's in its upright position, the shape on the bottom is usually the shape we use to name the 3D figure. So we're going to be looking at triangular prisms today, rectangular prisms, triangular pyramids, square pyramids, rectangular pyramids, cones, cylinders, and spheres. So we're going to learn how to draw all of these today. All right, one by one. So hopefully you have your paper ready, because you should have paper ready for your notes on this video. But make sure you have enough space to have practice drawing these. All right, next slide. All right, so for 3D shapes, most of these are categorized to help us remember them. So triangular prisms and rectangular prisms, they are prisms as it says in the name. All right, these 3 right here, these are the 3 different types of pyramids we're going to be drawing today. And these 3 right here, these are not prisms or pyramids. They're special cases. Okay, And we'll find out why. If not in this video, we'll find out in the next video why that's so. Okay. All right, next slide. All right. So it looks like it says prisms versus pyramids. Right here. This is explaining kind of why it's kind of introductory, as in why those special cases are special cases. It says prisms. Okay. Prisms have congruent bases. The bases are the top and bottom, right, of the shape. For example, if I have this right here, two congruent bases, right? That's two congruent bases, right? But it has to have rectangular sides. Well, a cylinder doesn't have rectangular sides. It's curved. That's why a cylinder is not a prism. So let's look at something that is a prism. If I'm looking at this shape right here, this is a rectangular prism. Okay, don't worry, we're going to have practice drawing this later. But if I look at this, here's my bottom. That's a base. And here's the top. That's a base. So the top and bottom, they're the same exact shape. Let me get another color and look at this side shape. What shape does that make? A rectangle, right? All the way around, that creates a rectangle, right? So the side shape all the way around, those are rectangles, right? Now, if this triangular prism was on its side, you can easily tell that it's not in its upright position for the prism, because if I look at the bottom shape, that's a rectangle. So when I look across from it, this is an edge. It's not a flat spot. So then I know that I have to turn it upright so I can easily see it in its upright position and be like, oh yeah, that's a triangular prism. Okay. Now pyramids have only one base that comes to a point at the top. And it has triangular sides. For example, so if I draw, for example, a pyramid, it has a point at the top. I draw my little line, right? So it has a base on the bottom and a point at the top. Okay. And it has triangular sides. So if I pick a color and I show you, obviously if it has these two corners and they come up to a point, look, it makes a triangle. Even on this side, it makes a triangle. Okay, so it has triangular sides. That's the difference between those two. If I think about a cone, and I'm mentioning these names because you should be familiar with these names. If you're not familiar with how to draw them, that's what this lesson's all about, and to remind you of the names. But we've all seen a cone before, right? So look at this. It has a base. It has a point, but it doesn't have triangular sides. It has curved sides. It can't be curved, right, in order for it to be a prism. A pyramid. Even with the cylinder, it has curved sides. That's what makes it not a prism, right? So it's a special case. And even though it says a pyramid has to have a point at the top, it could be the other way. Look, what if I did my pyramid this way? It could be upside down. That's okay. But in its upright position, it should look like this with a base on bottom and the point on top. Right? This is the upright position. And that's the standard way of looking at it. Alright, so if you have a flat shape, that is area. Once you give it a height, you are giving it volume, which is space in the inside. Alright, that's what makes it a 3D shape. If you give it another flat base on the top, then it's a prism. All right. If you give it a point at the top, then it's a pyramid. All right, next slide. So let's get started with drawing, because I know you're excited about drawing them. I am. Next slide. All right, so let me move this up here. So prisms have two bases and rectangular faces. So let's start off with the triangular prism and the rectangular prism first. So right here, these are two examples of triangular prisms, but only one of them is in its upright position. Can you figure out which one? Is it the first one or the second one? It's the first one, right? Because down here is a triangle, and it has to be the same shape on top, directly across from it. All right. And this one, it has like maybe a rectangle on bottom, right? But directly across is this line. It's not a flat. It's not a flat face. All right. We're gonna learn about faces and bases in another video. Okay. But let's practice drawing these. All right. So triangular prism. What I do to draw a triangular prism, I draw a triangle at the bottom, but I kind of make it wide like this and short. Okay, and I'll draw another one over here to kind of explain to you why I do that. All right, so this is like a typical triangle, one that you would probably want to draw at first. But if you widen these two lines, like this one, it'll make it easier to draw. So I'm going to go up from the one that I drew. It might be a good idea to draw a line so that you know so it lines up perfectly. Then draw that same exact triangle above there. When you do that, you can connect these. And there you go. Looks pretty good. Maybe I'll erase that one because that line doesn't look so straight. But it's pretty good for right now. Let me, uh-oh. I erased that. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. And there we go. So that looks pretty good. Draw it another time. I'm going to draw a flat looking one. Draw a line like this so it lines up perfectly. Keep going. And draw. Okay. Now let me go back to this one to show you. Okay, so if I draw my line like this, and then I draw that triangle, well, they're not the same shape. I should have drawn this. It should be the same size, I should say. But let me draw that one again because that doesn't look very good. Okay. So I'm going to do, I'm trying to do it white again. Hold on. I'm just trying to prove that it looks kind of funky when you are drawing it with like an equilateral triangle, meaning all the sides are the same. Right? It still works out. It looks kind of weird when you do that. This looks more realistic because when you're looking at it from a side view, the triangle does look wider, but it's up to you, right? So these are ones that are in its upright position, but there's other ways that these triangular prisms can be represented to you, just like this one, right? So let's practice drawing it on its side. So I'm going to draw a triangle like this. This is how I do it. Somewhere on its side, it can even be on this side, I draw another one. But remember, these triangles should be the same exact shape, or at least you should try to make them the same exact shape. And I'm going to connect here to here to here, and there to there. Okay, it's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to do another one. Triangle. I'll put this one over here. Try to make the same size. Connect, connect, connect. So go ahead and pause this right now, and I want you to draw one that's in its upright position, and then one where it's on its side. All right, so pause this for 5 seconds, because after 5 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and draw an example of each of those again, just for you to check your work. All right, so go ahead and pause. All right, so I'm back. So hopefully in the upright position, you drew something that kind of looks like this. All right, so it should look pretty much like that. Maybe yours looks a little better than mine. This pen on this board is kind of thick. All right, on its side, I'll draw it like this. Connect, connect, connect. That's pretty good. All right, so if you want, you can pause this and go ahead and draw some more examples just so that it looks really good. All right. And then remember, if you were in my was it, first quarter. Remember Addie Perfect? It should look pretty good. Okay. All right, so let's look at the rectangular prisms now. So here's an example of a rectangular prism, and here's another example of a rectangular prism. With this one, you can see the lines, all right, that are in it, the edges. They're called edges, right? You can see them through it, just so you can kind of see what's going on behind it. For this one, you can't really see where those lines end up, all right? And it kind of makes it hard to view. So when we're drawing it, of course, it's going to look like it has the lines in it. So let me show you what I do. If you have a different method of doing it and it looks great, go ahead, go for it. Use that method. You do not need to follow how I draw my 3D shapes. You don't need to do that. If you already have a method, go ahead and use that. But just in case you don't, or if you want to experiment, all right, this is what I do. I draw a rectangle, and then I'll draw another one inside like this. It has to be the same size. Try to make it the same size. If you have a rectangle and then you have a little one, that's not really going to make sense, and it's not going to be a rectangular prism. Look, that looks kind of weird. Okay. But then I just connect these right here. All right. Connect all the corners with these lines. All right. And there we go. You have a rectangular prism. Okay. And after a while, if you don't notice, after a while, you'll notice that it kind of flips on you. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you, basically if you don't know what I'm talking about, keep watching that and you'll see that it kind of flips the sides on you. All right, so I'm going to draw another one as an example. So I'm going to draw a rectangle, but I'm going to draw this rectangle out here and not put it inside this box. And that's okay. It just depends on what kind of rectangular prism you want to draw. So look, that one has a really long side. All right, and that's okay. All right, so let me draw another one. I'm doing it the other way. Instead of putting it up here, I'm putting it down here, and it still works. All right, so go ahead and take a look at that one that I just drew and count to 10 in your head and see if it flips on you. All right, this is what I'm going to do. In case you're not seeing it flipping on you, I'm going to draw another one. And they're not the same exact size, but this is just for you to see. All right, so if I'm looking at this one, what if I say this is the front of it? Then I can clearly see what kind of shape it is, right? But then what if I don't want that to be the front and I want this one to be the front? So if you still haven't seen the flipping, this is what's happening in your mind for those who are seeing it. It's kind of flipping on you and kind of playing a mind trick with you because your mind is trying to figure out where is the front, because it has no depth on this. It has no color other than the color of the lines. So it's flipping in your head, right? If you haven't seen it yet, and even if with me showing you this, if it's not working, and you still have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm saying flipping, don't worry about it, right? It will happen. Don't worry. Okay. All right, so I want you to pause the video and practice drawing different kinds of rectangular prisms. All right, and then I'll come back. So 5 seconds, pause it. Go ahead. All right, so hopefully you tried experimenting with drawing some other rectangular prisms. For rectangular prisms, most likely it's going to be rectangles all the way around no matter what, but sometimes you might have a square. If that's so, make sure that the rectangular side is on the bottom for it to be called a rectangular prism. Okay, so just make sure it's on the bottom. If it squares all the way around, anybody know what that's called? If it's square, oops, that wouldn't work. If it's a square all the way around, that's a cube. All right, so you'll be making a cube if, that's another special case where it's cubed, all right, and it squares all the way around, all right, that's why cube had its own special name as well. That's not really one that we're talking about today, but I thought it would be a good idea just to mention it because it is worth the mention. Okay, all right, next slide. At the bottom for its upright position, that raises to a point with triangular faces. So this is called a triangular pyramid because it has a triangle on the bottom. Okay, it has a triangle at the bottom. This one's called a square pyramid because it has a square at the bottom. Oh, that looks like a parallelogram. Well, remember what I was talking about? Like when you're looking at it at a certain angle, it kind of looks like it's slanted in some way, like the circle for the cylinder looked like it was oval. Well, that's the case for this too, right? So just try your best to make it look smaller than if you were trying to do like a rectangular pyramid, which is like down here. You see how wide that one is, right? To show that it's different from the square pyramid. You could even do these little lines too if you wanted. But let's go back up to the triangular pyramid. It's called a triangular pyramid because it's a triangle at the bottom, right? If we go back to the last slide, all right, the triangular prism had a triangle at the bottom. The rectangular prism has a rectangle on the bottom. All right, so next slide. The triangular pyramid has a triangle at the bottom. But because it's a pyramid, it comes up to the point. And because it comes up to the point, it creates the triangular sign. Okay, so let's draw another one. I draw a triangle. What if I want it to be very tall? Ooh, look at that. Whoa. A very tall triangular pyramid. Alright, my line is a little off right here, but that's okay. Yours is going to be a little off too because you're practicing. Let me do another one. What if I don't want the point straight up? What if I want the point to the side? That could work, but look at that. It's kind of hard to distinguish. It's kind of hard to see the difference between those two lines. They may overlap. So let me try that again and maybe do it maybe over here. Let's see if that will make a difference. Slightly. Okay. All right. So go ahead and practice some of these. One where it's straight up, and then some where it's on the side. My marker on this Promethean board needs to be calibrated because it's not correctly going where I want it to go, but it's okay. All right, so go ahead and draw some more of these. I'll pause this for 5 seconds. Pause this, and then I'll come back. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Go ahead and pause this, draw like 3 or 4 more, and then come back to this slide. All right, so hope you press play so that we can look at these some more. So for the triangular pyramid, it's a triangle on the bottom, a point somewhere at at the top and connect those corners. Okay. All right, square pyramid. Well, it's a square on the bottom, just like this one. Put a point. It's a pyramid. It has to have a point. And then connect those. There we go. Oh, I need to connect this. All right, draw another one. Okay. All right. It looks like a parallelogram, remember? So you might want to draw those little tally marks to show that those are all the same length. And it's just because we're looking at it from the side. When it's 3D, you gotta look at it from the side. That makes more sense. Oops. Oh my gosh. I need to calibrate this because it looks horrible. Okay, pretty close. Alright, so that's a square pyramid. Now let's look at the rectangular pyramid. It just means that it looks a little more elongated. Oh, that looks horrible. It looks a little more elongated. Okay, and that's okay. Look at that. It's a lot more easier to draw the rectangular pyramid than the square pyramid. Alright, a lot easier. There we go. So go ahead and pause this so that you can practice drawing these a little more. All right, so hopefully you drew some that look a little better than mine. Again, I need to calibrate this pen. I'll make sure I do it before the next video because it's not really following where I'm putting it. So if I do this, there we go. It doesn't look too bad. All right. So right now I'm drawing these rectangular pyramids. That's pretty good. And you don't have to draw it so short. Like meaning here's the flat spot and the point is right here. You can even make it higher up. And that could help with some issues too, if you're having issues. Okay. All right, so the point is to try to make it as perfect as you can. It does not need to be perfect, but try to make it, try to make sure your lines are straight and that I can clearly see the shape on the bottom, the base shape. Okay. So hopefully you remember that for the triangular pyramid, pyramids come up to a point. Think of the pyramids in Egypt. Right? They come up to a point. But it's called a triangular pyramid because the shape on the bottom is a triangle. Now the square pyramid, pyramids come up to a point, but it's called a square pyramid. Oh, that means that there's going to be a square at the bottom. Okay. For the rectangular pyramid, it's a pyramid, it comes up to a point, and the bottom has to be a rectangle. Right, so hopefully you keep that in mind because remember, most of these 3D shapes are named based off the base shape, the shape on the bottom. All right, next slide. All right, so cylinder, cone, and sphere. These are not prisms nor pyramids, right? They're special cases. So here is a cylinder. All right, it has a circle on the top, a circle on the bottom, and you connect those. There we go. You can even do it on the side. Circle, circle, and connect. All right, in its upright position, it looks like this though, where the base is on the bottom and the top. All right, so the cylinder has the two congruent bases, like the two congruent shapes, the same shape on bottom and on top, just like a prism, but it doesn't have a rectangular side. It has a curved side. It's not a rectangle. It looks like a rectangle when we're looking at it from this view, but it's not a rectangle, right? It's curved. Rectangles are not curved. So go ahead and pause this so that you can do some extra examples on your notes of cylinders. Go ahead. All right, so hopefully you did a those don't even look the same size, but again, my pen needs to be calibrated. So remember, they should be the same size. Okay, there we go. Oh, now that's off. Right. And hopefully you tried experimenting with it being on its side. I did this one diagonally, but what if I wanted to do it where it's a little more flatter? There you go. Yeah. All right, now cone. Pretty easy. Circle on bottom, point at top. This is in its upright position. But a cone could also be going upside down. Again, you can draw these however you want. All right, however you want. I'm just showing you how I draw them so that you have different ideas, or if you have never drawn them before, you have something to go off of. Okay, and if you look right here, it has like a line here and a line here. All that's saying is that from here and straight up is the height. Okay, same thing right here. Right here, straight down is the height. All right, now sphere. A sphere is one that people have trouble drawing. All right. Because it's very easy to pretty much draw a circle, right? That looks like an egg, but that's okay. All right. That's a pretend this is a. Oh, let me just erase that. That was an accident. I'm gonna do it again. Oops. Right there. All right. So if I draw my circle, right, to make it look 3D, it's kind of like drawing like a little baby circle in the inside. Now it looks 3D because it looks like it looks curved that way. So let me do it again. That time I put like a solid line in the back and a dotted line in front. Whatever works for you, as long as you're showing me that it's curved. So typically that's how you would do it. A dotted line in front and then a solid line in back. Because it's showing that it's circular in the inside. Okay. So go ahead and pause this and try some of these. Again, this one should be the hardest one to draw, but you can get it after a few tries. You just gotta practice. Okay, so go ahead and pause this and draw 4 other ones. And then press play so that I can draw 4 other ones with us too. So go ahead and press pause. All right, hopefully you're back. I drew this line here so that I can draw my 4 spheres. All right, so here's one right there. Ooh, it didn't even touch the edge. It should touch the edge from one edge to the other. Okay. Here's another one. From one edge of that circle to the other edge to make it look 3D. Okay. I did dotted line the whole way. It really doesn't matter. This one is usually the one that people use the most. Dotted line in front, solid line in the back. And here we go. There we go. All right. So just keep practicing it. All right, next slide. All right, so again, what is the difference? All right, what is the difference between a prism and a pyramid? Let's see if you remember the main differences. So I'm gonna write prism right here, and then pyramid over here. And I'm gonna give you pause this video, so that you can try writing down what the differences are, and then press play again so that I can write them down for you as a reminder. And please make sure you're taking notes from the whole video. Go ahead and press pause. All right, so there are 2 main things for each of these. Okay, now for the prism, they have 2 congruent bases. Okay, so one on top, one on bottom. It's all right here, top and bottom. For a prism. For the pyramid, it only has one base, the bottom shape. Okay. Now, for the prisms, in terms of its size, it has rectangular sides. Remember what kind of size a pyramid has? Think about it. It has triangular sides. Okay, so make sure you know these differences, right, between prisms and pyramids. Okay. And also think about, wait, what about the cylinder and the cone? Why are these special pieces? Go ahead and think about it. And pause it if you want, because after 5 seconds I'm going to say it. All right, hopefully you pause it so that you allowed yourself time to think about it. Cylinder is not a prism. All right, it's not a pyramid. Pyramids come up to a point. There's no point here. All right, so it's not a prism because it's missing something. It does have the two congruent bases, top and bottom. It's the same shape. They're both circles. But it doesn't have rectangular sides. It has curved sides. So that's why a cylinder is not a prism. And for a cone, right, it does not have two shapes, top and bottom. So that's why it's not a prism. But it comes up to a point. Right? The pyramid does have one base. And it has a point. But it doesn't have triangular sides. It has a curved side. Something that we also might want to put right here for the pyramid is that it has a point. One base and a point. Okay. So talk about that one. All right. Next slide. So right here it's just saying why again. So prisms have congruent bases, the top and bottom, right? And it has rectangular sides. That's why a cylinder is not a prism. So this is just a review. Pyramids have only one base that comes to a point, right? And it has triangular sides. Next slide. Alright, so there is a 3D song video that you should look up on YouTube. Alright? It is very catchy. If we were in class, I would have us sing it over and over again until you had dreams about it. Right? So you know how I could be with having you guys play songs in the classroom over and over and over again. So feel free to look it up on YouTube. Right? It's pretty cool. If you're not sure if you're at the right one, the tune is like this. These are the 3D shapes that I know. A sphere, a cylinder, and it keeps going. Okay, so look up that song because it's actually a really cool video. I love it. Next slide. All right, here's the end. Thank you to the interpreters who helped make this video happen. I really, really appreciate it. See you later.